All right, what's up, Internet? Your boy here, Bad Boy Internet Bob. Anyways, we're going to be shooting in 1080p. Oh, here's a car. 1080p's and 60 frames per second. Give that a test-a-rooney. See how that comes out. I noticed a difference. Maybe we'll shoot in 60 frames a lot more. Well, we will be shooting in 60 frames a lot more. But I'm just going to give this a test. I did not put the image stabilization on. Let's see, what other features did I turn on and off? I'll tell you all the ISO is at 50. I'm only using the rear microphone to try to boost the sound from the rear and ignore the sound from the vibration. See how that works. There's also a noise filter on this thing, so that's doing its thing. I noticed that I'm hitting the red a lot, so maybe it's a little too much. Maybe the peaking is too loud. Let me turn this down a little. Alright, test. That's a little better. Okay. That's mo better, actually. So that's a cool feature gimmick on this here phone. Is you can do all that in real time. If you need to boost the audio, you can. If you want to use the directional mic, you can. And I don't know. So far, I'm pleasantly pleased with the phone. There's a couple things that I wasn't as pleased with, like the gimmicky stuff. They're not actually functional. But whichever. The camera's pretty nice though. The laser focus or whatever they're doing here. Other companies are doing that as well. So that cool. What happens when I touch this button? We're still doing the same audio stuff. Alright. This video is, I think it's 720, I'm not sure. Maybe it's 1080, I'm not quite sure. It says HD, but what does that really mean nowadays? There's so many different versions of HD. I'm going to try to focus again because everything shifted here, like the balance. Alright, so that did not work. Maybe I should use auto. That's one thing, like changing this stuff on the fly isn't practical at all. Yeah, it's cool, but it's really not practical as that goes. Especially while you're driving. Like if I'm gonna mess around with it this Easter, try to get the best shots I can get. What else can I say about the stereo cameras? I don't know. I looked at the video I did this morning, right? And it looks good. Front-facing camera does look a little piss poor, but that's what we've come to expect out of front-facing cameras. It is piss poor. Let's see. Can we do autofocus? Yeah, that's pretty good. Let's try to get their license plate. So yeah, I think I like the 60 frames per second type stuff. It's a lot better than the 30 frames per second. Which I'm used to recording in, but except for the 720 videos, and I can record in 60 frames per second. But it helps it give it a more realistic feel. Things are happening in real time, and oh man, it's kind of blown out. I wish you could go through real time and switch the modes, but that's something that's not going to be done. So for Easter's, thinking about the Miami Zoo, hit them up, look at all the animal moles, watch them get their caviars and their steak lalas, and then maybe do a petting zoo or whatever. So that should be fun. I'll try to test out some new features on this camera. And what have you. But all in all, I'm pretty pleased with this setup. I almost jumped to the red there. It's a pretty accurate when it comes to the photography end. Like the colors, but you can change everything. So if you can't find it, you're not doing it right. I hope more cameras, cell phones, cameras, let have an auto mode. That's fine. Auto's great and all, but also allow for a semi-auto and a full manual for video recording, because it's pretty nice. Right now it's out of focus, but let's see if we can get back into focus. Now it's out of focus. Yep. Oh, it's trying. It does not know what to do with the water streaks. Which is fine. A lot of cameras don't. So I'm trying to stay consistent with uploading to everybody as far as all the video stuff goes. But it's hard. I gotta mess around more with Amazon Direct, because I've seen other videos that don't have subtitles on there, and I don't know if that's because they're special or what have you. Well, hopefully they just do away with that, because they'd have a ton of more creators on their platform if they just, I understand why they do it, because it's a law, and they don't want to, leave out the people that can't hear. It's just so annoying for smaller creators to get their content on that website. I was told some tips and tricks with how to get your content subtitled or closed captioned on the free, but the thing is, you have to have an accuracy of 99.9% to have your content on. Is it just because of the glare? Let's see if we can fix this. Can we fix it? No, we can't. Let's see. That's way too bright. That's just about right. That's way too bright. Turn it down. And yes, it's a rough one. I'm right in the sun's glare, so probably not that great. And I just streaked on my window with the stupid window wash. So anyways, yeah, I don't know. Amazon Direct Video or whatever it's called. Amazon, I think that's what it's called. Amazon Direct Video. I would love to use that service, but I'm not really willing to pay. I think it's $1 a minute for my stuff to be properly closed captioned. You know, because some of the videos I have are just me ranting, and frankly, I just can't. Like, if I had more funding, like through Patreon and all that stuff, I could see it being possible then to get more content on Amazon Direct. But as of where I stand now, maybe I'll do a test video and, like, you know, do a 3-minute video and try to upload it and see, you know, if it pays out. Because right now I don't think it would. I don't see my audience on that platform. But who knows? Who knows? Unless you try, you don't really know. You can't really tell. What does this button do if I press this button? Oh, wow, what happened there? Everything got dark on me. Turn that button back on. And that back on. Oh, man. That's why you shouldn't be messing with your settings while you're mid vlogging. Yeah. For those that didn't see, it just got a crap ton darker in here. That's this ISO. That's fine. There we go. And we're out of the glare now, so that's probably more accurate representation of what the sky's looking like right now. Put this autofocus on. Yeah, it's a pretty nice picture. Let's see how it comes out. Yeah, it's not a miracle worker or anything. If your shot's bad, it's bad. You got too much, you know, backlighting. There's only so much you can do, but if you frame your shot properly, you should get a pretty good result. So let's see what's on the radio. Let's see.
Treatment of one Marine to another, and that is completely unacceptable and goes against our core ethos and values.
On the policy level, what do you think needs to change in the Marine Corps?
Well, in terms of policies, the first change I'd really like to see is an increase of numbers of women in the Marine Corps. I believe we need to improve our recruitment and our retention of female Marines specifically. I'd like to see our numbers get up to at least 20%.
Now it's around 7%, is that right?
It's currently around 7%. And in aviation, we make up less than 4%. For example, I'm at the largest Marine Corps air base, and I am the only female pilot on this base. And that's incredibly isolating. And that means wherever I go, I'm the unicorn. I'm, the female pilot, if that makes sense. So it's still an oddity. It's still commented on. And one of the ways that this changes the culture is when female Marines become 1 in 5 of every Marine you have, at least. It's no longer female Marine, male Marine. It's just Marines at that point, which is how we should be looking at things anyway. But you no longer see them as there's the token Marine for the squadron. Oh, there's the token female Marine for the section, you know? It's just Marines. It's normal. It stops being an oddity. We stop being other.
And in terms of the culture, which is much more difficult to change, what kinds of changes do you think need to be made there?
In the past, when we've had issues with, say, drinking and driving, drug use, in the 90s, a big problem was racism. The Marine Corps basically sat down and said, no, this is completely unacceptable. We're going to change the culture in this. And it took time, but the way the Marine Corps did it was through a lot of education and a lot of training. Young recruits and poolies being before they go off to recruit training, when we're talking to recruiters, knew right from the get-go where the Marine Corps stood as far as drug use, as far as alcohol abuse, racism, and things like that. And so coming into the Marine Corps, they knew what the stance was, and we saw over time a drastic change. There are very, very strict career repercussions when you violate these policies, and everybody knows that. That's Marine Corps wide. That took several years to change, but we can do the same with this subculture of sexism and misogyny in the Marine Corps. Nobody is born a misogynist. It's learned behavior, and it can be unlearned.
I know some women were afraid of speaking out, worried that there could be career repercussions. Do you think that's a justified fear? Did you have that fear yourself?
I absolutely had that fear myself. I spent so much time, particularly my first few years in the Marine Corps, just trying to be accepted, that I didn't speak up many times when I probably should have, because I didn't want to call additional attention to myself. And in many ways, it was just about kind of survival, if that makes sense. And I think there's always that fear.
You're obviously extremely accomplished, have lots of options available to you. Why stay and try to fix this broken culture rather than just say, I'm not appreciated here, I'll take my talents elsewhere?
Because the Marine Corps is amazing and it's wonderful. And the majority of the people in the Marine Corps are people, they're the reason I joined. They're honest, good people who are committed to serving this country and defending Americans and the Constitution. There are no better people I would want to be working with and mentoring. I don't want to leave a Marine Corps that is less than what it could be. It's an amazing institution, and in my opinion, should be setting the example for every other military service out there, for every other organization out there. And my job as a leader in the Marine Corps is to continue to make the Marine Corps better and to continue to push that. So that's why I stay. I stay for the generations behind me.
Major Janine Garner is a pilot in Cherry Point, North Carolina. Major Garner, thanks for speaking with us, and thank you for your service.
Anytime.
Now to the war in Afghanistan. American forces attacked the Islamic State there with one of the most powerful non-nuclear weapons ever used in combat. It's known by its nickname, the mother of all bombs. It's part of the ongoing fight by the U.S. and its Afghan allies against ISIS. NPR's Pentagon correspondent Tom Bowman joins us now for more. Hey there, Tom.
Hey, Yoni.
And of course, this sounds like a big deal with a name like that, right? Using one of the biggest weapons in the U.S. arsenal. Can you tell us more about this weapon?
Well, Artie, the technical name is the GBU-43B, the Massive Ordnance Air Blast, and it gives it the initials for the nickname. It was developed during the Second Iraq War, but never used. It's about 22,000 pounds, roughly 30 feet long, and it's too big for a bomber. So what they have to do is put it on a cargo plane, a C-130, and then it goes off the ramp.
What do we know about why it was used now?
Well, commanders in Afghanistan have been fighting ISIS in the rugged hills of eastern Afghanistan. This is Nangarhar province. I was there 2 years ago. So picture Wyoming with vast plains and these rugged hills. And ISIS has been using tunnels recently and bunkers to avoid attacks. So the commanders brought in this bomb to go after them in these hideouts. Now, I'm told President Trump wants the military to step up the fight against ISIS everywhere. And he says, I'll give you what you want, what you need. And he said something similar today.
What I do is I authorize my military. We have the greatest military in the world, and they've done a job as usual. So we have given them total authorization, and that's what they're doing. And frankly, that's why they've been so successful lately.
So, Tom, any sense of what kind of damage was done as a result, and maybe what kind of difference this will make to the fight against ISIS?
Well, no sense yet whether it was successful in getting these ISIS fighters in their tunnels and caves. Now, the U.S. says ISIS grew to about 2,000 fighters over the past 2 years. They've reduced that number, they say, to about 800 with airstrikes and assaults by American special operators and Afghan commandos. Now, it's important to note that back in 2001, the U.S. used something similar on several occasions. That was a 15,000-pound bomb nicknamed the Daisy Cutter to go after the Taliban and Al-Qaeda. People I've talked with said they were a few miles away when it dropped. You could feel the blast. The last time they used that bomb was in December 2001 to go after a guy named Osama bin Laden and his leadership. Of course, that didn't work, and they just ran into Pakistan.
Now, what does using this size weapon now mean for the outlook for the war in Afghanistan?
Not much. This is still a stubborn fight against ISIS, and Americans are in the front lines here. And this area, by the way, is right near where Army Staff Sergeant Mark DeAlan Carr of Edgewood, Maryland, was killed last weekend. But of course, there's a larger war against the Taliban, who have gained territory over the past year. And the U.S. general there says that war is at a stalemate. He's asked for more troops, several thousand more. And the National Security Advisor, General H.R. McMaster, is heading over there to talk about that with commanders in Kabul. No word yet on whether the Pentagon will approve those additional troops.
That's NPR's Tom Bowman. Thank you, Tom.
You're welcome.